It's been a good day so far, man. Look at this. Now look at this, Red. Look at this connection, okay? Boom. Stop. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we do. That's what happens. What I saw is the Detroit Lions win projection is 7.4, which was higher than I expected it to be. I was like, 7.4 is not too bad, by the computer models or whatever.
Okay.
And they're saying we have a 45% chance as of now or higher to win 5 of our last 6 games. Got Jacksonville at home.
Okay.
Vikings at home.
Win.
Jets on the road.
Win.
Panthers on the road. We'll see where they're at that time. They could be out of the playoff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So we got 3.
Bears at home.
Win.
And then you got Packers on the road. You win 5 of the last 7. Pretty.
I like the 45% odds there.
Yeah.
That's what was it? 7.4 wins they got us doing right now. The odds. Was that
what did you say? That's like, how they do the computer models, and they're like, this is how many wins they're going to get this season. They got us at 7.4. 6.5, that feels like a good bet to take. Now, I ain't saying to bet, but I'm just saying that feels like a good bet.
I'm saying to bet. Take the over.
Oh, you're going to bet? You going to bet on that bet? I mean, that feels like a good.
I'm taking the over. For sure.
It feels super low. The topic was you wanted to talk about the Lions have what it takes. You said to win the North?
To win the North, bro.
I know this. We're not last in our division. Like, you know how they put the odds out to win your division. We're not last. We're above the Bears. So we were talking about the Bears aren't that good. We're not below the Bears.
You already hit the Bears. I don't think we even really need to discuss, are we better than Chicago? I don't think that's a question there.
Really?
I know we're better than Chicago. Minnesota, I personally think we're better than Minnesota, especially after we split with them, and I feel like we could have easily went 2-0. One of those games, we lost to a game-winning field goal. Right. So I truly do think we're better than them. Now, the Vikings they have a talented offense, but I feel like we can match up well with their offense. Now, we drafted to be able to stop the run and get after the quarterback this year, and we do know they have I'm going to call them a top 8 running back in Dalvin Cook. If we went through the draft to get better at stopping the run, we should somewhat be able to contain him or slow him down. Now, we still got to stop those receivers on the outside. They still got JJ, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen.
The Vikings drafted Lewis Seen, Andrew Booth, Ed Ingram, Brian Asamoah, Caleb Evans, Ezzy Otamwo, Ty Chandler, Verdarian Lowe. They got Jalen Naylor and Nick Muse at the end. Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
I think our cornerback room is we're versatile enough to where we can man up and match up well with these guys. Amani did a solid job. Double J is going to be hard to just shut down. We just need to contain him. Amani's confidence is playing at an all-time high. I think he's going to improve this offseason. If Okudah can just bounce back and start proving what he was supposed to be for us, I think that could be huge for us. We're going to get Jerry Jacobs back. We added Mike Hughes. I think if he's about to start showing up, he's about to get a full offseason with us. I think that's going to really pay dividends right there. We got a 6'2", 6'3" corner who played pretty well against Devontae Adams the last week of the season.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if he's our one, in a year.
He
might be our one this season, man. So, you know what I'm saying?
So I feel like we can match up with them on the defensive side. We add Aiden Hutchinson to get after the quarterback. Romeo's coming back. Charles Harris is back. I think we could sweep Minnesota this season. If we split with you last year with the roster we had and we get back all our gangsters, I think we got a good chance of going 2-0. Now, we're talking about Green Bay. Green Bay just lost the best receiver in the NFL, Devontae Adams. I get you replacing him with Christian Watson, but he ain't Devontae Adams. He's a big boy.
It's a big loss, man.
But we got big corners who can match up well with Christian. We ain't got no 5'10" corners that's just about to sit here and deal with a 6'4" receiver, 6'5" receiver. Nah, we got corners that are 6'3". Amani's 6'2", Iffy's 6'3". We have length to match up well against those guys. I think Green Bay is going to transition to become more of a run-first team, honestly, because they do have two. Aaron Jones is one of my favorite backs in the league. I think he's very underrated. And then they also got the big boy, A.J. Dillon. So I think they're about to transition to more of a run-first team because Aaron Rodgers really don't have that many weapons. And then what did we do against Green Bay last year? We split. Yeah, they took the starters out the second half, but at the end of the day, we was up at halftime. So that showed me that, hey, we can bang with them. And I believe the first game we was up at half.
We were up at halftime, both games.
Bringing in Chark. So we just added a weapon for your boy, Goffle. What, hold on.
I'm
not going to take no. I didn't take any jabs.
I mean, it's just always a little subtle jab in there. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a jab because I'm expecting it. But
Deshaun Elliott has proven that he can start at this level. He started for the Baltimore Ravens. He just deals with injuries. That's a chess piece we can move around. He's a tone-setting safety. We bring back our pieces. We had Mike Hughes, who shows versatility inside, outside. All this young talent that we're carrying over is about to have a full offseason with this coaching staff. So we should see growth there because we were playing with a bunch of youngins.
Yeah,
dang near at every position group there was some youngin. O-line's coming back. Frank the Tank. We're gonna have Taylor Decker hopefully the whole season. Penei Sewell's about to have a second year at right tackle. Like, come on. Jonah Jackson Pro Bowl last year. Big V's playing solid. I'm not even going to throw no jabs at Big V. I think he's doing very well. Just don't like the contract, but it is what it is. Goffle's got mad pieces now. There's no excuse for Goffle. No excuse. Our sixth receiver, who used to be our wide receiver 1 or 2, I'm talking Khalif Raymond, is now the sixth receiver on the roster. You got pieces, bro. St. Brown, I think St. Brown's set to have a Pro Bowl year. If they would have got him involved the first 9 weeks of the season, St. Brown could have Pro Bowl. He didn't get involved.
He probably could have either way, honestly.
Right. They didn't get him involved until like the end of the season, and he still almost had 1,000 yards receiving and 100 yards reception. So it's like, we got the talent. It's just young, but I think they're going to take a huge step forward because they got a whole offseason with our coaching staff. And our coaches be coaching them up. And that's what I love. And that's what a coach is supposed to do. They're supposed to bring the best out of a player. They're supposed to push you to the limit. And we're doing really good at putting them in places to make plays. I think we do have enough to push for the NFC North. I know AR-12, Aaron Rodgers is still on Green Bay, but Green Bay ain't the same team. Can you list – I think they had a good draft, though. I'm not going to take nothing away from their draft.
They had some good picks in there. I wouldn't say it's all good, though. I don't like it all.
Brad,
can we go through their picks real quick?
You're right on cue. I was going to ask you to, but you're right on cue. Do what you do.
So they took Quay Walker, came back, got Devontae Wyatt in the first round, so we know they waited till round 2. Then they traded up, right, and they got Christian Watson from Minnesota because they moved twice. Sean Ryan, the offensive lineman out of UCLA. Then they got Romeo Doubs. I think it's a bad pick. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to get frustrated. He's going to get frustrated, man. There's the dude that's that explosive, that runs routes that well should not go that far. There's no reason that a guy that moves like he does goes round 4. It shouldn't happen at the receiver position just because he can't catch, and that's nah. Now they got Zach Tom, which was fire. They got Kingsley. I didn't think he was impactful as an edge rusher. Tariq Carpenter. It was almost like it felt like they kind of tucked the guys that maybe had some hype around him at one point, but they actually weren't productive at the end of the draft. Tariq Carpenter, you drafted a safety that might move to linebacker, but he hasn't played linebacker yet. Jonathan Ford, Rasheed Walker. So they got another backup lineman, and they got Toure at the end of the draft, another receiver. So they drafted 3 receivers, right? That's how confident they are in their receiver room. They got 3 guys to play receiver. I don't like it.
They need help. They got to pick up the slack. You just lost the best receiver in the NFL, Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
He did get a couple nice pieces. They got a couple Georgia players who, they bought out last season, last college football year. And I was big on Devontae Wyatt. I think he's going to be a stud. But I feel like our offensive line can contain him. They about to be so cohesive. That unit's going to be so strong, bro. They about to have a second year. We're getting back our all-pro center. And in my opinion, I think the center position is probably the most important position of an offensive line because he's calling the shots on the offensive line. He's the quarterback of the O-line. And we have an all-pro at that position. And we didn't have him last year.
Yeah.
That's about to be huge for us. Taylor Decker is going to be healthy. Sewell second year. Jonah Jackson's going to continue to change his body. I don't know what he's going to do, but Jonah Jackson's going to continue to, how they did this. Jonah Jackson just transformed his body.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Well, he's going to continue to transform his body. Big V still going to look big. I don't know. I
can feel your excitement, your energy, Rad. You guys have real excitement with this offense, man. It's hard to poke holes in the offense. It's hard to.
Bro, I was excited about
here, man.
There's none. I was excited about the offense before the draft, and we talked about it like, hey, if this is the offense we're taking, if the league started today before draft, we was like, we'd be cool with this offense because we still had Chark, Reynolds, Cephas coming back, St. Brown, T.J. Hutchinson, Khalif Raymond, your boy Trinity Benson. Like, we'd have been still straight, but then now you add J-Mo, who I think he's going to be ready week 1. Bro, we have 2 deep threats on the outside. We have one of the better slot receivers in the NFL. We have one of the better tight ends in the NFL. We have a top 10 offensive line, and we have a top 18 quarterback.
Brad, stop, man.
I think we're okay.
Where'd you get that number from? Top 18? That's wild. That's mad disrespectful, Brad. You just looked up everything and said top 18 quarterback. That's crazy. No, that's.
I mean, if we're super optimistic, like, nah, man, I know what's going on in the trenches. I know what we're building here. And I think our rebuild is going to be sped up a little quicker than what people thought. Like, because I think 2024, we're winning the Super Bowl or we're going to make an appearance. Bro, we're building something special here.
You know what's cool is that everybody, you saw those pressers, like, and I think it was Jamal who brought it up first. And they were all kind of talking about, like they were all talking Super Bowl, which is like, that's the expectation. But they even
100%.
like said it like it was different last year because you were so much changing it's figuring out. But now everybody's back. Like, everybody is here again. To what you're saying, you have these new additions, but you still have that core that you feel comfortable with. Like even the additions of Josh Reynolds is like, there's your core. Because you didn't have to bring Josh Reynolds back. You said we're going to replace this guy, but you brought that guy back. It feels like at every position group, you kind of have a core of guys that you kind of know what you're going to get now after last year. Safety, you got T-Walk. Linebacker, you got Alex. Defensive line, you got Levi. You got Brockers. You got Aleem. Cornerback, you got Amani. You got like, you have that at every position where you have a core there. So you didn't like, completely turn over, but then you just add it to every positional group.
Right.
So I see why they're talking like they're talking, because now it's just full go time. Like, there is no, we'll see what happens when the year, like, you got to go. And we'll hit this more in Rich Eisen show, but I do want to just say, if the Lions felt like, if Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell felt like they were going to be limited or felt like, hey, we might not win this year, there is no way in heck they would not have brought a quarterback in. There's 100%. No chance. You didn't even bring in a backup. Brad, what happens if Goff doesn't play well this year? They have no other option. Unless they think that's Tim Boyle, they literally have no security. It's just, this is it. We're believing in this. So to me, there's no way they would have not brought in anybody, especially when you see a guy like Carson Strong go undrafted, when you see how far these quarterbacks have fallen. Like, you'll hear in the show thing, but there's no way they wouldn't have brought in any kind of competition if they felt like they couldn't win right now. True.
And I also think it plays into they didn't want to rattle Goff's mental either, though.
That's probably very true.
I think, like, this is a make it or break year, I feel like it is for Goff. So they don't want to have any ripples, any waves, because this is like the true test. Like, O-line's about to be intact. We done brought in 2 nice receivers to go on top of the slot and the tight end you already have. We already have a good running back stable. So I also think they didn't want to create any waves with Goff's mental. So let's just keep him rocking and rolling, keep him level-headed, let him know that this is his team. Don't draft none of these, because none of these quarterbacks I really thought were worth to even like create ripples in Goff's head. So let's not do it. I think that was smart. Let's build around him.
Sam
build up his
Howell
defense.
5, right?
Now, Sam Howell, I would have pulled the trigger. I emailed Brad Holmes. I emailed him, but he didn't respond back. I told him, hey, I don't know if you know, but Sam Howell's still out there.
You changed your name. Why'd you change your name? What are you doing? You're just Rad now.
You know what? I don't know. I'm tired.
Okay. You're tired of that name?
No, I'm just tired. I'm tired. But
I got to show you this.
I would have took him. But long story short, we can move on segments. We're gonna win the North. How do you think, though, real quick?
Yeah.
You think we got a good chance, or are we doing it?
Good chance to win the North?
Why you laughing?
Man, it's just tough. Like, we're talking about winning the North, man. I don't know. It's just because
I don't. Wait a minute.
Look,
you're the optimistic one.
I'm super optimistic.
Like last year, you talking about we're gonna get 10 wins. I knew we were buns.
No, look, stop. No.
This year, like, you're trying to play it all.
We were not buns last year. I'm telling you, we were buns last year. We were not buns. We just got hurt. Brad, literally,
we were buns. We were buns.
We had no
and we went through the schedule plenty of times. we're 9 wins. We're 10
up.
wins. And I'm
Tell me
like,
this,
bro, we're
Brad.
like
Wait,
5 to 6.
Did you
Now
see
you're
how we
acting
played
scary.
Niners? Did you see how we played Niners week 1 though? I mean, we played the Niners like that.
We were never in control of that Niner game.
We played some ball now. Yeah,
No.
we did. We played some ball. Now here, look,
that Niner game, we were never even. No, I'm not going.
Killed. We got killed
the Niner
on the run
game
in the first half. No. We can talk about the Niner game because we got killed on the run in the first half, which we got out of hand early. But Brad, we started scoring now, and if you watch the offense from that game, the way we were passing the football, that might have been Goff's best game of the season. Seriously, his week 1 may have been the best game of the season. And I think when you said we had Frank Ragnow was a big addition to that. But I think a lot of things really changed schematically. Like the way we were forced to throw the ball week 1 to where we got in the middle part of the season where there was zero aggressiveness from Anthony Lynn. He almost kind of just like let it fly in week 1, and we saw it for the rest of a couple. I mean, Green Bay, we were aggressive. We just couple big plays. Our drives were too long. But when we were forced to pass now, Rad, every time we were forced to pass, we start moving the ball down the field.
I'm going to say this, and I hate to say it.
You can say it.
And I don't even want to say it because my boy Naylor.
You can say it, yeah.
But I felt like we were never truly like in that Niner game.
We were right there. We were
like, don't let the scoreboard.
Like, we were 25 yards away from tying that football game, Rad.
Like,
think about that.
You?
25 yards away from tying the game?
Bro.
Right, the ball now at the end of that game. Hey, that offense was clicking. I'm not saying the defense was. Defense took a hot minute to get rolling. And that's why we had to get Aiden Hutchinson and Josh Pascal because we couldn't stop the dang run. Slinging that thing week 1.
Lions winning the North this season.
Oh.
And that's it.
That's your
And I'm surprised you're not on board.
Is that your prediction? Is that your prediction? That's what I'm asking.
Lock it in. I'm disappointed in you too.
You're the realist. I'm trying to be a realist here, Rad. Look, here's what I'm saying. Packers are a playoff team. They're a playoff team.
I'm disappointed.
They're gonna win 11, 12 games. But
I'm disappointed.
I have us winning double digits too. I have us in the playoffs. It's just gonna come down to 1 to 2 games at the end of the year. And it'll come down to how fast we get out versus how fast they get out. Because to me, Green Bay, they have consistency. They've had consistency. How fast are we going to get out after a whole year here? That's going to be the question to me. Because we got to get out going. Like, we got Washington, Philly. You can't come out 0-2. Then you're chasing at that point. And we can catch back up. But that'll make it real tough. Because Brad, let's be real. They play 17 games. Packers aren't losing more than 5.
I'm disappointed.
Is that fair? Do you think the Packers lose more than 5 games this year? Is there any chance that they go 11-6? I don't see a scenario where they are worse than 12-5.
Hold, please. I'm gonna pull up their schedule.
Pound their losses. They are 12 with need time to find the blankie.
They got a good chance. I see what you're saying. We gonna need Green Bay to lose at least like about 6 games, 7, and their schedule's looking. It's heavier than ours. Their schedule's heavier than ours.
Yep, it is. It's a little bit tougher. But they got a couple first place teams in there.
I just wish they had like these. So I'm looking at their preseason. They play San Fran and Kansas City. I wish that was like flipped onto their real schedule. Like, why is those preseason games, bro? Flip them on. They got to see Tampa. They got to see Buffalo, just like us. Dallas. They got to see the Titans. I mean, you got a point. We got to come off a little hot. We got to like go ahead and knock those 2 East teams out and go start off 2-0.
What's their first 5 games? Just go through their first 5 games real quick. Just the team
Minnesota, Chicago, Tampa, New England, Giants.
So 4-1, 3-2 at worst, right? Through the first 5.
Yes.
So I think we're gonna have to come out hot like that.
We got to match that.
5 got to be 4-1 to win the division.
We got to match that. We either got to match that or come out like undefeated or 4-1, like you just said. Yes.
Yeah. That's my only thing. Now here's the thing, though. I said this in a different stream. If we get into the playoffs, if we if we get into the playoffs and the Packers win the division and we match up with them week 1, that's going to be a problem. I think that'll be a big time problem for them because we go on the road to Green Bay twice in a short amount of time. It's going to be really tough, even if Green Bay beats us the first time, to beat us twice. I think it'll be really tough to beat us in the playoffs on the road in Green Bay. I just don't think that's good. That suits them well. So I'm cool with that. Like, I don't even care if we win the division because I actually like the idea of playing them on the road in the first playoff game. I think that'd be a really good matchup for us. I think that'd be great because now you're minimizing a lot of the things that they're built around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Devontae Wyatt helps, but I look at Devontae Wyatt as a guy that brings you some pass rush upside now.
Yeah.
I think it minimizes who they are, just like it did when they played San Francisco, and it can really bring out what we can do at a high level. So I'm cool with winning 10, going 10-7, getting Green Bay, first game of the playoff. They're the 2 seed. We beat them. I see that. I can see that happening. Just like when Cleveland beat Pittsburgh on the road.
Right.
Cleveland gets in at the end, and guess what? You're gonna get spanked in your first playoff game because it's just not a good matchup for you at that time.
But see, they got a tough stretch. So week 10, they got Dallas, Tennessee, Philly, Chicago, Rams, Dolphins. Like they got a tough little stretch right there.
That's a stretch.
Tough little
we got a
5-6
little tough
stretch.
one too.
We do.
Yeah.
But
I think we'll be close though. I'm not.
We're